What it do, little baby? We back again. You
Yes, sir.
heard
And
me?
another one.
Yeah, man. We're back again with the Grounded Show. Another episode for your earlobes. You heard me? Hey, man. I've been out and about lately, man, and been rubbing shoulders with some people, peeping some spots, possibly to get a little in studio show with the podcast, man. I know that we already had talked about that, but just letting the people know about to take this thing up a notch, man. Events on the way. You know what I mean? If you're in the Central
Yeah.
Florida area, shout out to JoJo, man. I was actually talking to him yesterday. They just had a successful event that just passed. I mean, they had a few. I mean, he just puts on events. That's his thing. But they've been on a nice little roll. He was talking to me about a specific vibe kind of event that we've been talking about. That me and Joe have been talking about. Me and JoJo have been talking about. And it's definitely that time to put it all together. Like I said, if you're in that Central Florida area, or if you want to take the trip once we start doing these little things, definitely tap in. We're gonna let y'all know as soon as we have any details. Um,
Yeah,
but
we need everybody to come out, man. No, for real. Like, because we do have people who engage with us, who do enjoy the conversations we have. That's a great time to come out and have the conversations with us, see it in person. Meet how we interact with each other live. It's a whole different vibe than just watching us on, Instagram, TikTok clips. So it's a good thing to participate in.
facts, and I feel like we're at this point now too, where I'm seeing consistent commenters and likers on socials that we don't know. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't know if they're local or what, but it'd be definitely dope to connect with people that are that we already know, that listen to the podcast or just the fans of what we're doing and trust in the vision of what we're doing. But definitely is something that we're gonna bring to the table. A lot of dope things on the way. Feel like the road is clear to finally get some stuff going, especially with how we're seeing that it's working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's one thing I wanted to touch on because I see a lot of comments about too many people have podcasts. Not everybody needs a mic, and it's like we're not here to be popular. We appreciate the engagement, but we're here to have real conversations. We're not here to do the niche stuff to get into algorithms and like be part of like do stuff that's out of our element just to be popular and get engagement. Like we're just us, and we're getting
yeah,
that engagement off of just being us and what we do. It's like we don't need to be super funny and talk, touch on pop culture all the time. We just need to talk, and people like enjoy our conversations. Those are the people we're trying to engage with, and that's it.
not facts. And even that conversation right now is like, bro, we're 2 years plus in, 100 plus episodes in.
Yeah,
We've been building momentum since we started, and it's been growing. It hasn't been going backwards. Like I said, we're getting to the point where we have like consistent people that are tapped in, commenting on what we're posting, on the topics that we're talking about. I definitely, one thing that I would like is more interaction from the point of view of people telling us stuff to talk about.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Usually when I see people in person, they do be mentioning like little things here and there, but it'd be better if like they emailed it to our email, everythinggrounded@gmail.com, man. If you're listening to this, everythinggrounded@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
If you got an idea, a topic, just something that we should talk about, definitely throw it to us. I want to engage in like the topics that people want to talk about because that's always interesting to me. And another thing, um, every time I'm out and about, bro, people are talking to me about the
Yeah,
podcast, like specific segments that we've done, episodes that we've talked about. So it's like, I know at this point we're years in. The way people mention to me the podcast, sometimes it's the first thing they mention to me, not even the music. You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
so it's definitely something that's working. And I've seen them post too, like you said. People. It's like starting a podcast now is like the new joke, like being a rapper used to be. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, oh, if you're a podcaster, like you're that like guy that was trying to be a rapper too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And
But
that's what that I like that point you made because it's not always the people who engage with us regularly, but someone will ask me a question and I'll answer them like, yeah, I talked about it. They're like, I know we heard you talk about it on the podcast. I just wanted to hear you say it in person. I was like, okay, so you did hear us talk about it on the podcast then.
yeah, facts. And like I said, man, the way that we're doing it and the way that we've been on it is something that I feel like has been resonating with people, but like it's testament of how everybody's talking to us. Like we just said, man. Like just to wrap it up, it's working. And for the people out there that are thinking about doing something like a podcast or doing something artistic, whatever, dog, at the end of the day, man, if it's adding to your life
Yeah.
and you're happy with the progress of it, you're seeing it progress in the direction that you want it to progress in, at the end of the day, that's all you got to worry about, man.
Yeah.
What somebody else thinks about you starting a podcast or you doing X, Y, or Z, like, bro, that should be the last thing on anybody's mind, dog, especially when it comes to people, man. Like people just be saying anything. The same way we be on here just saying anything, dog. People just be saying
Yeah. And
anything every day
there's
in
a
real
lot
life.
worse.
So yeah. Speaking of saying anything, dog, I don't even want to get too deep into this because it's just funny to me because at this point he's kind of just created the buzz himself and just talked to himself about this. Like I feel like he just used it to go on a press run, really, but I saw a headline that was funny to me, man. It said Jim Jones hits back at Nas backlash. So when you read that headline, you would assume like maybe Nas responded to him, and now Jim Jones is responding to the Nas response.
Yeah.
But Nas hasn't said a word, bro.
Nas
He's
did have one post though. He had
no,
one post like
no,
he
but I'm
was
saying
like,
like he hasn't directly
no,
like
no, no, yeah,
come out with a
yeah.
statement
He
or
was
like
indirectly responding to him.
exactly. So it's like for Jim Jones to just respond to people responding to the Nas thing is like, bro, you're literally just talking into the atmosphere, like to yourself,
Yeah.
dog. Like it might have worked for what he's trying to do, and it's funny, man, because I always think about this when we talk about going viral and stuff like that. I be seeing these posts of people that it'll be like a selfie video of them, right? And it'll be some writing on it and like a trending sound, and they be like, the video be them saying, somebody told me if I use this trending sound, I'll get 1 million plays. And you look and they got 1 million plays on the post. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But okay, so
But
this
no,
is a
check.
good conversation.
But listen. Let me
Okay,
finish the
okay.
thought.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So you go and you get 1 million plays on your post, right? What is that gonna do for you? What is it gonna lead to? Like, what does going viral for viral's sake do for people? Because if you can't capitalize or really point them anywhere, like for Jim Jones, I understand because he's probably thinking, if my name is in the news, my streams are gonna go up for that time that my name is in the news. Because people just gonna think, oh, Jim Jones, I haven't heard his stuff in a while, or they're even just gonna go through his catalog to try to compare him to Nas. You know what I mean? Not knowing they're adding to his paycheck just by playing them songs, just by Googling them, just by going on YouTube and pulling up the song like, oh, this is whack. Even you pulling it up to say this is whack, he's still making money. So I
Yeah.
understand it from that point of view. But it's like people that are just trying to like do anything just to get that 1 million view video. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
you got to have a plan with this.
Yeah. And that's our same thing to just tag on to that. It's straight up like everybody's clout chasing, right? One, like we talked about Jim Jones about his age now, and like you're still clout chasing, but what is that going to gain you? Like 1 million people have 1 million videos who get 1 million views, but what does that gain you once you get that? If you're not picking up on that traction, what are you going to get after that? You have to have a strategy. It's like, okay, I got this approach, I got the traction. Now what am I going to do with it? And I feel like his whole shit, like nobody cares about what his rollout is. Everybody's just talking about how he was talking about Nas and how Nas responded, how he's responding, and that's the main subject of his clout.
Yeah. And it's funny because kind of going off that, people are kind of like comparing the Jackboys 2 project by Travis Scott and his artists and the Clipse project just because, Pusha T came out right away when they
Yep.
started their rollout and mentioned Travis Scott and why he's got a beef with him right now. He feels like Travis Scott pulled up to him and Pharrell and Malice, played some music from his album. Then when he left and he dropped the music, one of the songs was Meltdown, which is a song with Drake where Drake is taking shots at Pharrell. But Pusha T saying that when he brought it to them,
He
it
didn't
didn't
play
even
him
have
that
a
verse.
Drake verse on it.
He didn't
And
play
then
him
it's
that
like,
verse.
for you to even come here and play that song and then turn around and get somebody on it that's dissing the guy that you wanted to show the song to is weird. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
definitely agree with Pusha T on that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about the whole situation is a lot of people saying that Pusha T is just using Travis Scott or whoever's name to try to like boost their sales or whatever. And they're predicting that Travis Scott's project is gonna do better first week sales than the Clipse album, which is not even a Travis Scott project. It's like a compilation of his label, his artists. It's the Jackboys 2 project. So Travis Scott is definitely gonna feel like he can puff his chest out like, oh, these dudes was talking crazy about me, and look, my crew album did better than their album. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like the thing that we always talk about on this pod too is like how many people got their hands in that basket and got something to like. With Travis Scott, you got an artist that mad people got money behind him. He got mad endorsements. So when he drops something, that's going to be in everybody's face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And then kind of like to lead to what you wanted to talk about with the Clipse, they're an older rap group. So how are people going to care about what they're doing? What they've been doing is just kind of been going on that tour in a podcast, doing interviews and stuff like that to just remind people who they are and where they've been, basically. You know what I mean? And then just kind of like leading into that.
Yeah, and I think like I said, everybody says podcast, everybody has a podcast, but now artists are doing, and not just artists. You have actors, you have different kind of celebrities and entertainers in different industries doing podcast rollouts. They're going on every popular podcast, essentially having the same conversations. Like I saw clips on Joe and Jada, I saw clips on Joe Budden. Same conversations, but they have different relationships, but also different relationships with the host.
Yeah.
So Clipse and Budden go way back, so they could talk about stories that Joe and Jada can't talk about with them.
Yeah.
And I think that gets back the difference. And also, like Budden could get more personal with Malice than anybody else because he knows Malice from back in the day. And I think that allows the story to evolve, and I think that gives more of a background for the album to hit. But like you said, they're older rappers. They're from a different generation, but they're tapping into the new generation buzz to make sure the new generation taps in to the old generation music, because they don't sound any different than they sounded from years ago. And that's what people like me appreciate. The Clipse are sounding like the Clipse when they drop Grinding, when they dropped, you know, the original tracks, the original, and it was Pharrell who produced it. There's no more Kanye producing it. Like, I appreciate that. It's taking me back. And like I said, I don't want to, you know, give my age away, but I was tapping that grinder beat in high school on the lunch table. You know what I'm saying? That's how far back it goes with me.
Yeah, man. When you consider podcasts and then these long form interviews, it's one of those things where it's almost like the last way that people can really, like, I guess you could say, keep it real, because a podcast usually is like an hour long and they're just talking. Most podcasts are unedited as far as the conversation goes. Yep. So you're really just hearing somebody talk, and, you know, no matter how media trained or how like much you try to put up a front, to a certain point, you're just talking. So you're just going to fall into you just talking, and it's just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that people are seeing with the Clipse when they're seeing them on this rollout, is they're just hearing them say some real stuff. Yeah. And they're like, people are getting to understand why they left. They're understanding how long they've been gone, what has changed in that meantime. You know, they're kind of getting a backstory of why Pusha T's been on what he's been on, why Malice has been on what he's been on, and how they kind of reconnected with it. And it's the kind of thing that even if you don't know about them, all you need to know is those little story pieces. Like, they're the Clipse. They don't make music no more. Now they came back. Why is it? And this podcasting and this just doing the press run like this lets everybody answer all those questions. If I would have just heard the Clipse dropping an album, but they're not going on this run, I'm not going to care as much as like, oh, like, I'm understanding now why it's a big deal.
Yeah, because you got fans of these podcasters who they're fans of who they just are, and then they have these artists that maybe you haven't heard of. You heard the name, but you know anything about them, and you hear the story, and like, okay, I might go listen to this album tonight.
Yeah. Yo, and the crazy thing about podcasts and streaming and stuff like that is like they're really changing the game in like in a weird way. Like, not saying it's bad, but for example, what we're talking about now with the Clipse and Travis Scott, they can create their own narratives because they both have their own following. They
Yeah,
both have their own crowd that follows them for them. So it's like you might hear it, let's say, on Complex or the Breakfast Club or something like that. And those people and those platforms have their followers. But then the people they're talking about, those people have their own followers as well. And they have access to them with streaming. They have access to them with social media. And basically what I'm leading to is now you have situations where like that streamer dude Neon was on the Breakfast Club. And he was streaming while he was on Breakfast Club. So like if you were watching it from like the Breakfast Club cameras, it looks like they're frying him. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks like they're kind of grilling him for some comments he made in the past about Kai Cenat,
yep,
comments he's made about black people, things that he said racially insensitive on his stream, and you see it from their side, and it's like, oh, they grilling him, and they're pretty much since the Breakfast Club audience isn't really tapped into Neon like that, they're introducing him, but they also have to bring you up to speed on everything. You know, if you're watching Neon's feed, it's like, oh, bro, these dudes are just ambushing him, and they're like trying to like do this to him for clout. Their whole chat
just
was
trying to
going
clown
crazy.
him.
Yeah, it's like obviously Neon's chat is on his side. The Breakfast Club fans are on their side, you know.
Yeah,
But just seeing it, it's like a crazy dynamic because like you can go do these press runs, but at the end of the day, like everybody has direct access to the audience.
yeah,
So it's not like how it was back in the day where it's like, let's say when you're talking about like Jay-Z and Nas back in the day, you was seeing them on Hot 97, like, and you wasn't even seeing them, you was hearing them because it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
radio. You know
There's
what I'm
no
saying?
video.
You would hear them on Hot 97. You would hear them on the Power radio station. And the only time you really heard from them was like in those radio station interviews, and it was short. You couldn't really say everything because you're on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like
there's a lot more
it
censored.
was really just he say, she say, and you're really relying on the personalities to kind of shape your opinion because you're not hearing directly from them. Nowadays, the Jay-Z and Nas thing, they might just sit down for a podcast separately with two different people to go over why they beefing, to go over why they, you know, whatever the case is. It's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying?
And they're with hosts who they trust and they can tell them stories to. When back then, they didn't know these hosts like that, and they weren't comfortable talking about these stories in front of them.
Yeah, they had to do these press runs, and whoever was at the station is whoever was there. You know, obviously you knew the main ones, but
Yeah.
when you go into Alabama or something like that, you might not know who's the host on that station, and it's just somebody random, and they're going to ask you the same questions, maybe even harder questions, and you just got to answer it because that's your only way of reaching that audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like another crazy layer to like how the internet changed the game with the album rollouts and everything, and just then you have the opposite side with Travis Scott where he just has a lot of money behind him, so his is just straight promo. You know what I'm saying? Like his is ads, you know,
Endorsements like
covers,
crazy though.
getting the songs automatically in a commercial or automatically in a game or something. It's like he has those avenues. For the people that don't got those avenues, they thrive off of hitting people direct with the streamers, the podcasters, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like that's what I realized about Travis Scott. He tapped in major to the college, demographic with his college Travis Scott collaborations with the colleges. He's dropped gear for colleges. I have a Travis Scott night shirt and a Travis Scott Gator shirt. And I know people who even buy more, and like he's tapping into a certain demographic that's allowing him to just be him and not have to do
Travis Scott is
rollouts.
set. Travis Scott is to the point where he already knows he's gonna do good numbers wise because they're delivering his music to so many platforms that
Yeah.
like you just get you're just gonna get those plays and streams off of like just getting it delivered
Because
there.
they
They're
know
gonna
he's
play
gonna
it.
get the hits, so they're
Exactly.
putting him on there. Like
They're
we
gonna
know he's
play
gonna
it.
get the hits.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like to a certain point, he don't even got to worry about the rollout like that from the point of
Nah,
view of like
not at
you
all.
haven't even heard Travis Scott talk about that project like
Jackboys
on
2 was an Instagram post.
literally,
That's
literally,
it.
literally. And it's probably something that doesn't even get too many posts on his main page because the analytics tells you, nah, bro, talk about yourself. People don't care about the extra stuff. It's crazy, man. It's so many weird little dynamics, and then you're trying to like kind of weave your way through it, like with a podcast, with streaming, whatever it is. At the end, that's why at the end of the day, like we was talking about, the viral stuff don't really do nothing. If you're
Nah.
not really locking in and making something happen where you connecting with people in a way where they care
Yeah.
about what you're saying, like the viral thing will get you that first look, and they'll recognize you the next time you might pop up on their feed, but it's not gonna put no money in your pocket.
Yeah, and that's why like some people think, oh, I'll just go viral off something that'll push. It's like, nah, you can do it without going viral. You just have to have the right marketing strategy.
Yeah, facts. Man, it's been depressing on Sports Center and stuff lately, dog. The talk on there has been so whack. This is like the worst lull in the time of the year. Like no football, no basketball. It's just like Major League Baseball, and that's pretty much it,
Soccer, a
dog.
lot of soccer, which we know you don't bang with. Nobody in
Is it
America
soccer
fucks
like
with
like all year though?
Oh, soccer's a year round every single year. There's always some kind of cup or some kind of competition going on. There's always soccer year round all the time. That's why they get paid so much. They never stop playing.
There's like these little rumblings that there's gonna be another.
Wimbledon was fire. Wimbledon was big.
They say that there's gonna be another like basketball league,
Yeah.
like a major basketball league.
Nah, from who?
I forgot all the details, but I've been hearing here and there little things, um, and supposedly like some NBA players have already kind of expressed some interest in possibly going over there. I don't know if it's like a Riyadh thing or what, but I know that there is some buzz out there about like an alternative basketball league, which
Off
I'm
season or leaving the NBA? Same.
competing,
I don't know, man. The price has to be hefty for that.
and they're also like kind of estimating that it might be more like European basketball style or based. Like
What's
honestly,
the
bro,
difference?
European basketball is more akin to like what the '90s basketball was like. You know what I mean? It's a little more. The pace is different in Europe. They're a lot more physical.
Not just
The
shooting 3 pointers from the half court line.
Yeah, that's not happening. I mean, people shooting over there, but it's not like that over there. I mean, you watch the rules are vastly different in Europe, just as far as like how the flow of the game is. You know what I mean? That's why and that's something that a lot of players from other countries always mention too. Like it's kind of like sour grapes, but at the same time, it's like the United States has to send their best players now. You know what I mean? The reason why they have to send their best players is because it's a very skillful game over there. And there's skillful players all around the world now because the NBA is global, dog. Like back in the day, the NBA wasn't global. Only us in America was playing basketball on the weekends and stuff. Now they playing basketball all over the world. You know what I'm saying? So there's more talent around the world, and the world is bigger than the United States. So you're gonna have really talented players that are not U.S. based, and even a lot of the times, the players that we have on the U.S. team are not even U.S. based players. They're just players that live in the U.S. that play for the
Yeah,
U.S. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Players are taking over like the All Stars in the NBA. That's for
Yeah, I
sure.
think they said like the last 9 MVPs or something like that have been none of them have been American.
Yeah,
Um,
he
a
was
lot.
shy. SGA, he's
Yep,
Canadian, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Yep, he kept the streak going, man, and a lot of people equate it to the lifestyle over here, bro. People don't got the same kind of work ethic over here that they do overseas, and it even reflects in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like them players come from Europe, Africa, Asia, wherever they, Australia, wherever they coming from, and they're working way harder than us because they're just more used to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they come up in a different kind of farming system than the NBA.
Yep. You really gotta get it over there. It's the same thing in the UFC, bro. A lot of these Dagestan guys in the UFC
Yep.
smash you, brother. Them boys is not playing around, dog. And they be out there in the freezing cold training all year
For
from little
real.
kids, dog.
That's
What's
why
that
they come
thing?
out in those fur hats.
What's that thing? This dude, Nurmagomedov was no, it wasn't Nurmagomedov. I think it was the other dude, Kamzat. He told DC like, "You send your kid 2 3 years Dagestan and forget."
I forget.
Send my
No,
kid to
they run
Dagestan
it.
for 2 years and forget him? Are you insane, boy?
They run in the UFC right now for sure.
Yeah, bro. It's like
There's a lot
I
of D's in there.
yeah, a lot of consonants right next to each other, bro.
Real talk.
The this always reminds me like the fighting stuff. It always reminds me of like Bloodsport and them old '90s movies and stuff
Hmm.
like that. And it's really getting to that. I mean, it was like that before, but it's glaringly obvious now how much more pussy we are than the rest of the U.S. I mean, the
Real
rest of
talk.
the world, dog. Because even in like the movies, the U.S. guy was always the underdog because he was
Yep.
like always supposed to be the softest one, you know?
Yep. Game has changed in I think every sport now, man. It's just it's the U.S. ain't matching up to the international players as much as they used to dominate
Yeah.
as a country. It's not like that no more. The U.S. is trying to keep up.
Yeah, it seems like in a lot of sports, there's kind of like a growing effort to figure out why that's going on to make the U.S. players stack up to the international
Yeah.
players.
I mean,
It's
outside the NFL, we can say the NFL. U.S. still run the NFL.
I mean, that's because for whatever reason, the NFL is so American. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
and that's
there's
true.
not
It's
even
called
a
American football. So
yeah, there's not even a lot of like overseas players that come. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
very
Like,
true. They all in rugby shit.
yep. I mean, there's some like CFL players here and there, but even those guys usually aren't even that good to play in the NFL. The
Yeah,
NFL is at the NFL right now is like how the NBA was before. Like
yeah.
nobody is playing football in their countries right now. Like on the weekends, there's no
Mm-mm.
there's no sixth grade football team, in Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They're not playing that sport like that right now. And honestly, it's kind of hard like to create that infrastructure to play football
yeah.
because it's like so specific. You know what I mean? Like having them make football fields in all these places, and it's just it doesn't sound like something that's easy to do. It's
Yeah,
like it's like how they talk about with baseball. Like that's why like broke kids usually don't play baseball because it's like baseball is expensive, bro. It's a lot of equipment. It's a lot of traveling. Your parents got to have free time and money for you to play competitive baseball, dog.
yeah,
And a lot of people don't got that. Basketball, it's like you put them on the basketball team at the school, and it'll all kind of sort itself out. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like with same thing with soccer. Like soccer is just a ball and a field. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
you can play soccer on the weekends real easy.
But you know
Football,
what? They're adding flag football to the 2028 Summer Olympics. And that's country versus country flag football. And I got a
yeah,
homie, shout out to my homie MR. He plays for the Brazilian national flag football team.
dope.
So he's been doing that for a while now. I'm going to put some extra. He played Aaron Hernandez stunt double in the Aaron Hernandez special on Netflix too. So he's been in football major. He's Brazilian, pure Brazilian. And now he's going to compete against like Tyreek Hill and all because there's a bunch of NFL players
Yeah.
playing on the flag football team in those
Mhm.
Olympics, and it's like I think that is going to open up football internationally, and
And
I
then
think that's the reason they're doing it.
the professional flag football players are mad because they're not getting those spots.
Yeah, they're not.
And it's like, man, I feel them, but bruh, nah, dog. You only a professional flag football player because you can't
Yeah,
play in the NFL,
yeah,
dog.
real
Let's just
talk,
keep it
real
real,
talk.
bro. I'm
I'm
a
a
failed
professional when I play flag football. You know what I'm
I'm a failed
saying?
hooper, dog. So like, I could say this without bias, dog. I know that if there was like a flag football type thing for basketball that I could play, I would have been trying
Oh,
to do that because I couldn't make the NBA, dog. Like professional flag football, as dope as it may be, dog. You are not Tyreek Hill.
nah,
You are
easily.
not Patrick Mahomes.
You
Like
can't
I don't
compete at
care,
that
bro.
level.
And then I heard like one of like the quarterbacks from them that are like supposed to be really good. He's like, it's a completely different skill. It's a different game. This and that. I get it, bro. But these people are gonna figure it out way faster than you, and are gonna be better than you in a record amount of time. Like you're gonna explain the flag football mechanics to them one time, and they're gonna be better than you at it. So it's like, dog, you just gotta accept that Tyreek Hill is gonna be the receiver now.
Yeah, imagine lining up on the line against Tyreek Hill. You got to be ready for that. You can't be play at the park on Thanksgiving flag football.
You losing that matchup at the line, bro. You losing that at the line. As soon as y'all line up, and as soon as the quarterback says "hut," you lost, bro. Like you losing the
Cheetah is out.
You losing the lineup. You losing the intimidation factor. You losing everything immediately, bro.
Real talk.
He's cooking. But yeah, man. Like I said, we working on some new stuff with the pod. Getting a nice little it's funny, man, because I was messed up for mad long in the process of like the salon stuff and just a whole bunch of stuff I had going on. And then as soon as I seen the green, the green grass and the clear skies, my dog Joe got hit with a crazy project, and he's been going insane. And it's like, man, bro, as soon as we can line this up, it's gonna be epic, bro.
Well, it's been nonstop for me since the beginning of April. And it's gonna keep going for another probably 4 weeks, but we're gonna get through it. I prepared for this. I expected this. I knew this part of this year, but I'm not stopping this podcast. I'm not stopping giving it every attempt I have and keep building it. But as soon as this is over, we're taking this to the next level now.
Facts. And we're gonna see y'all in person soon, them people in Central Florida, so y'all can hear us say "Stay butter."
No.
Oh no, you're not ready? You're not ready?
No.
What's up? What you got for me? What
Saturday
you got?
night.
Oh man, I did forget
What's
about
up?
that. Oh, that's crazy. You know what's funny? I looked through the list and I'm like, oh, we had everything. We didn't write it in the
Nah. I gotta talk about
check
Saturday
this out,
night.
y'all. Check this out. My dog Quincy came into town. He was in town for a couple things, and he stayed at Joe's crib. So I'm talking to Joe, like trying to plan out like what we doing for the pod and everything, just talking. And Joe was like, yo, Saturday, Quincy gonna be here for the fight, like, and we just gonna chill. And as I'm writing him, like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, Joe writes me, like, before I even finish the message, he's like, yo, if you want to pull up, let me know. I was like, bro, I was literally writing you, what's up? So, bro, it all lined up perfect. I was able to drop the kids off at the in-laws. Actually, they picked them up from the crib, so it was even easier. They picked them up from the crib. We stayed at my sister-in-law's house because she lives 5 minutes from Joe, and we're like an hour from Joe. So it's like, all right, we could stay at my sister-in-law's crib. She got the extra room, so we could just go crazy and have a dope night and not even have to worry about nothing, dog. So I pull up over there. I'm on the way, and Joe FaceTimes me, which I already knew. I'm like, I looked at Val, I'm like, yo, if he's FaceTiming me, he's wasted already.
I was on 10.
I'm like,
10.
if he's already in there. Then I answered the FaceTime, and just as I suspected, where you at? Where you at? I was like, I'm on the way, dog. I'll be there soon. Bro, as soon as I walked in my man Joe's house, he gave me the mic, and we just started doing karaoke for like 4 hours straight.
Off the rip. I had the table set up. I had the tracks lined up. I had 2 wireless mics. Quincy had one. Lester had one. I threw on their track with JoJo, and I said, it's your time to shine. Let's get it.
Yo, man, we had a dope-ass night. We was just, man, it was like pretty much just karaoke, wings, a little bit of beer pong, karaoke, wings, more beer pong. It was dope, man. We was there for a while, man. After we left, we were, I don't know how, after eating all them wings. It was because we was gone too, bro. We went to Taco Bell, had the Cantina taco.
Ooh, I love that for y'all.
And then we went to my sister-in-law's, bro, and just knocked out immediately, bro. Yeah. It was an epic night, man.
You know what I feel about karaoke, though? I feel like the best times when you're in the club is you're playing your tracks and you're singing along with them. Yeah. So imagine you get to choose a song and you get to sing along, you know all the words. I feel like that just brings the energy, like, it's a different kind of energy. And like I said, as soon as I got that system, that wireless mic system, I've brought in that to like 6 parties this year. And that's how the night ends every time. It's just a different energy being able to like just sing your favorite song. I did it. We did it on my birthday. Like it's just different.
High key, that might need to be the first event, a karaoke night.
And that's what I want to touch on. And not only that, like that's the kind of events we want to set up. I bring my whole set. We could do a couple performances, perform some songs, and then just let everybody tap in and just run that karaoke all night.
Yeah, man. No, we gonna get it for sure. We gonna get it for sure. I'm ready. I'm ready for another karaoke night. I'm ready for the event. I'm ready for.
This guy said he couldn't even do the me.
Bro, I cracked the drink open, and you was like, "Here." I was like, "Oh my god!" Walking in.
This is your part.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun, man. That was fun.
A good night. It was a good night. Shout out to Quincy.
My dog Joe. It's about drive. It's about power for real, dog.
You know it is.
Yo, you turn into Dwayne once you finish that bottle, dog.
That's it. That's why. We ain't giving no brand shout outs without no money, but y'all know what we're talking about. It's about drive. It's about power. I'm the Rock when it comes to that.
You hear me? But yeah, man. That was funny, man. That was funny. That was a dope night, man. I never done like a karaoke night. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've only done karaoke at like a cruise bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was definitely a different experience, but it was fun, man.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man.
Stay.